I want to share with you my top tips about doing big washes. I've got a full sheet of Arches 300 GSM cold press. It's really, really common to do it on this size here. This one's kind of between A4 and A3. My first top tip is big brushes. I've got my palette all prepared over here. A couple of quills, big brushes. I've got my palette all prepared over here. I've got a lovely composition here, and so all I need are to go with these colors, except I'm going to swap out the red and go in with more of a pinky red, and that's going to give me some beautiful purples. I'm putting this painting up here so that I can glance at it at any moment. Normally I'd have it on a different angle, but I thought that might be better for you guys to be able to glance at it in the way that I might be. And I'm using that painting only as a guide. The first colour is Opera Pink. I'm going to top up the Cobalt Blue as well. This is an enormous tube. I'm also putting out Holbein's Permanent Yellow Lemon. French Ultramarine. This is Schminky. Big tip, use some containers. Water. I'm going to add... so I've wet all those colours, you see, so it's really easy for me to just go in now, get some yellow, lemon yellow, just mix. If I mix it really well there, oopsie, I'm dripping onto the paper, then I'm going to get this fabulously easily mixed enormous puddle. Okay, there's number one. Let's do a blue one. I'm not going to limit myself later, but I really love getting down like some basic colours at the beginning and having a little bit of plan about the colour. But, you know, these are all just ideas about the way to move forward. So I'm putting a huge amount of water on, and I'm going to spread it in a quite controlled way. Put that layer on and then turn this down, and now I can use my dirty water because I didn't want to use my dirty water on the front. Now I'll be able to see where the water goes. That's actually probably much better for you guys too. You can see where the water is going. Now you could just spray it, as I was saying, but if you only spray it, then you can miss bits. And then when you miss bits, what happens is that it doesn't completely suction to the board. So what I'm doing here is giving myself time. I'm totally covering the board, covering the paper, I should say, with heaps of water, way more than I need, so that I have absolutely saturated it. I've already saturated the other side, and now I'm going to turn it over. So on this side I've used dirty water, and here we go. Let's go back. I'm going to tip this excess pink onto the floor. I mean, I've got this towel here, so it may as well go down there. And this is going to get turned over. And I'm going to discover how dirty or clean my board is. Huh, not too bad. That's cool. Look at the pink seeping up. All right, so we want to just position until no lumps. Just repositioning just there. I'll just spray it. I can spray it now, that doesn't matter. Just, is that going to go away? Come on, go away. Ugh. All right, I'm going to, it's getting, the grandkids have been here, that's what's happened. Right, they come in and touch your stuff, grandchildren. You know, I wanted it to be totally accessible to the grandkids when I first had them and started, you know, doing arty stuff with them, which is freaking cool. And I've often wondered about a channel on that subject. Anyway, I don't know whether someone's done it already. I am saturating again. I don't want any little patchy bits. and I don't want any lumps. Here's the fun part. I'm going to put some of that beautiful blue. Oh, I was going to put yellow first. Just remembered that part. I've got a brush with me. There's some yellow there. There's some yellow there. Some yellow there. And yellow there and there and there and there. Right, that is absolutely fantastic. A little bit of gravity, do some of the work for me, see what beautiful things happen. That's cool. I'll just even it up to the other side. So it has gone all over the floor again. It's quite funny when you're standing there and suddenly there's this little dribble of water on your foot. Okay, that's pretty beautiful. We've got a big patch in that corner. I was looking for a beautiful green, and that's why I went for that light colour. Isn't that beautiful? This background, by the way, makes me want to totally change what I was going to do, and I'm not going to do that painting right now. I'm deeply satisfied with this. Wow. What you've got to do next is get the excess moisture off. Look at that. That's kind of a weird bit, as though the water hasn't gone there and it hasn't gone there. I wonder if that means it's not evenly sized or something. And now I'm here, I just want to put the rest of that yellow down. Now, you're at a critical point. Look at that. That paintbrush is picking up as much as it's putting down. Not only that, but it just shed. Oh, I'm just going to get that out of the water. I don't want those wooden ones sitting in there because, boy, can they go mouldy. Okay, so I mentioned about this brush that is super, super soft, and it's marketed as both acrylic and watercolour. And I don't believe it. So I'm now going to lift off. I love this third point. You'll see that I do that in paintings all the time. About a third. And I'm going to see if I can put it over there. Oh, bit of paper in there from the previous job. Okay, it's all mucky, so I'm just going to realign it. And it'll pick some up and hopefully just realign itself. It's super dry. Yeah, there, look at that. If this has been previously wet, you can run it back and forth. So this brush, if you're interested, is an Escoda Barcelona Barroco, size 30. And it's the best lifting up brush in the big size I've ever had. And I didn't buy it as that. I thought that after all these years of using the Harker brush, you know, these cheap looking ones, and they are cheap, after all the years of using this, I thought, oh, I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to treat myself to an expensive brush, expensive big brush, and it didn't pay off. The cheaper one in this example is better, except for lifting off. You try and do that with a Harker brush. Ugh, it's annoying. All right, I'm going to come down a little now because I'm getting some beautiful, and then I might go over there. There, lovely. I'd like to drag some blue through that. Or the orange. Oh, will I do some of the pink? Or some of the purple? No, definitely not the purple. Let's do the plain old blue. Get more of the same colour. I know. It's blue here. So I'm going to start with the blue. Trying to follow the same track that I took. There. And then I had it go over there and then come back to here. That's with the blue. What else? Oh, I know. I'm going to mix up some of that fabulous pink. This one, the super, super, super pinky one. There's blue on my brush, so I'm making a kind of a purpley colour at the moment. Just get that quinacridone pink going. No, it wasn't quinacridone pink, it was Opera Rose. Wow, super intense pink. Look at that. I wonder if I can apply it with this. Let's put it down here. And put a little bit in there. Just, oh, it's really hard not to get those marks. Okay, it is possible to do these wispy lines, but I keep leaving big dobby bits. So that's when this one is going to be fantastic. I'm going to load it up with that pretty mix and see if I'm, yeah, look. And you get it, oh, so interesting about the dryness of this one and the difference there. These lines can be in focus. Let's get some more of that paint off, line them up. Let's move it about a bit. Oh, watercolour just loves this kind of thing, doesn't it? I have to be mindful that I will lose 15% of the intensity. Good time to start to plan around that. Intensifying the yellow is possible, intensifying the pink is possible. Now I'm just going to get rid of the paint again. And I need them thinner. I like this, that they're fuzzy because they're moving off into the distance. But I want these to be crisp, these to be fuzzy, but they're too fat. So I went in too soon with the Wet n Wet, but I'm going to fix that with this brush. And I don't want that brush anymore. That's too heavy for this finer work. I don't think I'm going to touch the sky. And no, I'm not. I'm going to use my little liner brush to put in some blue down here. Just wet it, go straight in for the viscous blue. If you put these lines on a little bit later, as in, you know, when it's drier, when the paper is drier, the marks will look completely different and they will all be sharp. If I put them on now, they will really slowly dissipate. It's really quite beautiful what happens. There's going to have to be objects in amongst that if I want it to look like a landscape, but I'm going to toy with that later because I just am taking advantage of what's happening here. This is too similar to this, so I don't want to add blue into there except for a tiny bit. Tiny, tiny, go into the yellow. And that's enough for that because I want this to look completely different to this. Stick my fat brush in there. Mix it on the palette this time. And then try and wipe it off. So huge. Let's see what happens when this is loaded and I'm holding on this angle. Oh, I've been thinking for a while about painting some sea dragons and seahorses. Maybe this is going to become a background for that. And I'll change it and go this direction Nope, nope, nope. It might still be seahorses, and they might be doing something. I have no idea at this stage. I'm going to leave that in. But that means I do want to get rid of this mountainous looking thing because that's not going to make it look very undersea. Maybe I'm going to go for the look of it being all undersea. In which case, this is going on up here. Oh yeah, look how beautiful and lined and thin that is. Let's incorporate that. So it's still really quite wet, but the beauty of this method is that I get all this time and I'm using a really beautiful quality paper, and therefore it's just allowing me to push and pull and play with it. Okay, ooh, does that look a little more undersea? I love that idea. I'm going to blue more down here. Big fat blue. Or maybe I'll mix it in with the yellow. Oh, goodness me, I am on fire. Look at the green it makes. It's completely different and absolutely perfect for putting in down here. Yeah, let's do some marks that look like the sea. Boy, was that unplanned. But the result of having a lot of fun too. Get rid of that. Okay, so hopefully this is, so this part of my board is partially in darkness because every time I turn my second light, which is actually like my fifth light, every time I turn it down into the board it's reflecting badly. So I'm just going to put it back so that you get better lighting. It's trying really hard to dry, and it is drying on the top, but it's still lovely and moist underneath. So that moisture comes through and it allows you to make beautiful marks. Okay, I'm totally wondering about whether I do go back to my original idea and incorporate that as though that is a soft line. I think I might start with this and carve out the leaf shape. So it goes up to there. It goes up a little bit high, I think. Bring it down that low or make it go really high. Let's make it go really high and cut into those lines. Hard brush if you've squeezed out hard lumps into your palette. Okay, a little more. So because it looks like a beach towel, I'm going to do something to it because a beach towel is not at all what I want to have happen in this painting. So I'm going to get rid of those lines completely. This one can run down. This red can go for a journey. And just put it there. So see how slowly it's moving? Versus when it was wet, at the beginning it would have just rushed off the page. So I'm just going to put that down and see if I like any of that. I do. That's really cool actually. So I'm going to keep some of it and move it on a different angle. Wonderful textures that I wouldn't any other way. This finishing with this knobby bit there isn't, I am not liking that, so I'm going to drag that out. This beautiful line there though, I don't mind that at all. And I'm going to move that around. And I might move, will I move the top or the bottom? Bottom, make that go like that. Just lose some of the edges. They won't be as prominent, might make that one go that way. And keep the top edge all soft and bottom edge, no, I'm doing the opposite. Anyway, wouldn't it be cool if this ends up being like a beautiful entry point in terms of the composition? I'd be so excited if that happened. Ooh, look, doesn't that look like reeds? So you take the colour up and then twist the brush a little and it's turning sides. Ooh, so cool. Bit of landscape, bit of not. Oh, let's get rid of some of those too.